Hello everyone, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you around 4 stories. I hope you like them and please feel free to let me know what you think about them in the comments below. And now let's go. My husband rented his ass home before we got married. He signed a month-to-month lease when he moved in. I moved in with him after our marriage because the rent was super cheap. My parents recently came to me asking if they could park their RV at our home. I didn't see a problem with this. Our yards are really big and there is space. Because of city ordinance, the RV has to be parked in the backyard. There was no RV gate in the fence. My husband went to his aunt and asked if we could install an RV gate. His aunt said no. My husband relayed the message to me and my parents seemed upset when I told them. 2 days ago, I came home from work and saw that my dad had a construction crew at our home and had removed part of the fence for the gate. There was an apple tree in the way. They couldn't fit the RV in the yard. My husband angrily told my dad not to continue and that they needed to repair the fence. At this point, I felt like it was pointless. The fence guys already built the columns for the gate. It would cost a lot more money to rebuild the fence. I told my dad to finish the job but make sure it was left super clean, that it looked nice. I planned on talking to the aunt later and explain what happened. What I didn't know was my dad told the guys to remove the tree. My husband's aunt came by and saw the tree cut down and she started to cry. She has refused to talk to my dad or me. When my husband came home, he found a 30-day notice on our door. The termination of our lease. He tried to call his aunt and she didn't answer the phone. He then called my mother-in-law and she went to talk to our aunt. Later I got several messages calling me a jerk for cutting down the aunt's late husband's tree. I had no idea he planted the tree. And now my husband and his whole family are really angry at me. I never told them to remove the tree, seriously. I feel like I'm being thrown under the bus here. Am I in the wrong? And now for some comments. You are in the wrong for letting it continue when your husband said no. The aunt said no to the gate, and no is a complete sentence. Your parents removed the tree from a yard they don't own. How stupid and selfish of them. Everyone is in the wrong besides your husband, his aunt and family. The aunt can hire a lawyer and sue your parents and the company who did it without her permission. And honestly, I hope she does. You are in the wrong, seriously. Aunt would have been in her rights to throw them the heck out just for the fence. What kind of entitlement and presumption does it take to march onto someone else's property and just start making changes to suit oneself? You are in the wrong. I'm a bit speechless that you even thought of posting this. Here is my main sticking point. You asked, and she said no. Who are you married to? Your father or your husband? Why did you not put your foot down with your father? I'm just sorry that your husband has to share the consequences of this. Hey, by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying what I'm doing here. Leave a comment below, press the like button, and click on that ring to get every upload as soon as I post it. Sorry for interrupting, and let's get to the next one. Our cat got out and we discovered him sitting on a tree. It was high but close enough to the roof that I-28 male figured he must have jumped over from the roof and he could jump back. He was meowing loudly, I don't know why, but my wife, 26 female, thought it was a cry for help and decided to climb up to get him down. I told her he was fine and would come back down on his own, and if he didn't, we could think of something else like getting a mattress to break his fall, but she didn't listen to me and tried to climb it. I told her to at least wait till I can borrow a ladder from a neighbor since we didn't have one, but she said if we waited too long he'd jump and hurt himself. He was being very loud at that stage. I said he's just being dramatic. And if he's not, let's just think of something else because the tree was very high for a human. She tried to climb up from the ground but it didn't work. So she went inside and climbed up on the roof from a window and then climbed from there to the tree. The whole time I was yelling at her what a stupid idea that was, because there was no way she'd catch her footing and there was a serious chance the branch she was on wouldn't be able to support her weight. But she didn't listen to me and fell down when she tried to steady herself on that branch. She had a major cervical fracture, head injury, other broken bones and came this close to breaking her neck. She had to get 2 surgeries and it was extremely anxiety-inducing. 2 weeks later, she's still in the hospital but on the mend. She started joking about the fall and joked that it was probably because of our black cat's bad luck. At that point, the anger over her recklessness that I hadn't felt because I've been so worried came to the surface, and I told her it was entirely her fault. She got defensive and said that she couldn't have predicted it, at which point I yelled that I predicted it, and I told her exactly what would happen 5 times before she went ahead and did it. And the cat got down on his own before the ambulance got there anyway. Just like I said. Then she started crying, and I started crying, and she said I was being horrible, but I said, I can't just not point how wrong she was for making a very reckless choice that nearly killed her, gave her very painful and possibly long-term injuries, and made me and her parents think for hours that her life was on the line. I got back and her parents called me to tell me what a jerk I was, and that she told me to tell me not to come back to the hospital unless I apologize and never bring it up again, but I need to talk this through with her and can't just let it go. Am I in the wrong here? What do you guys think? And now for some comments. Did yelling at her fix any of those fractures, broken bones, or head injuries? Everybody sucks. You for screaming in a hospital at your wife. More concerned about being right and her being wrong than her injuries, health and well-being, and overall aggressive nature. She sucks for being reckless, careless, and impulsive. Nobody, I think, is arguing that the wife isn't in the wrong here. But the question was not, is my wife wrong for falling? It's, am I in the wrong for yelling at her in a hospital? Yelling may not fix her broken bones and head injury, but his behavior may not have been helpful, but it's a human reaction. He was trying to get his wife to listen to caution. He was trying to get her to see sense that she was risking her life by doing something so reckless. Emotions are running high in these types of situations, and not everyone will be able to control their emotions. The fact that she did such a reckless thing to begin with is selfish and cruel to those who care for her. Then trying to make light of the situation when her husband and parents thought she might die is cruel as heck. Her idiocy and pure selfishness is wrong. So no, yelling may not help the situation, but sometimes that's how people's emotions spill out when someone they care for unnecessarily endangers themselves and will not accept the seriousness of the situation. I'm going with the unpopular not in a wrong here. You were scared your wife could have died, for God's sake. For her to joke about it? Really? Shows me she learned nothing from her actions. Yeah, that's it for this one. What do you guys think about this? It's a tricky situation, isn't it? Let me know down below what's your take on this. My husband has a friend, Andy, who can't hold down a job, and there is always something wrong where he can't afford his rent. And he is always asking for money or a loan he doesn't pay back. My husband gives in and gives it to him. I'm talking thousands of dollars over the last few years my husband has loaned him. A few months ago, I told my husband that the next time he gives Andy money, I am gone. My husband was doing good until Andy showed up at our door last night and told my husband everyone forgot his birthday, so they go out for a bit. I do some snooping on Facebook and Andy's birthday isn't until next month, and I screenshot the picture of my husband last year with him on Andy's real birthday in front of a Christmas tree. I go to the bar and show everyone that it's not Andy's birthday, and the room is dead silent. Andy said he put the wrong birthday on his Facebook account, so I showed him the picture of him last year with the day posted of his real birthday. Andy said that it was a mistake, and everyone thinks December date is the right one because it's on his Facebook. I asked Andy to show everyone his driver's license, and he said he forgot it. I asked the bartender if Andy could legally drink without proof of age, and the bartender said no. Andy refused to show his license and left. My husband said I was being a witch for no reason, but I reminded him that it's the first day of the month, and Andy always comes around looking for extra money. We had an argument about Andy, and once again my husband stayed with a friend, and I'm packing up my things because he acts like I'm in the wrong for coming to the bar and saying publicly what I said. And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. File for divorce and let your husband and Andy live happily ever after. You deserve better. Not in the wrong, your husband is. You set boundaries on your shared resources and he violated that. You are completely within your rights to leave knowing that this is exactly what you said you go. This Andy sounds like a grifter and your husband is a sucker. I probably wouldn't do what you did, but I'll say not in the wrong because your husband has spent thousands of dollars and is risking his marriage over Andy, who seems like a freaking leech. I have been living and working on my parents' farm for over 2 decades. When my father retired 4 years ago, I was given full control of the farm and property. Over time, due to urbanization, our area has changed quite a bit. To describe the area, my family owns 4 large fields separated by a main road. To access the fields, my family has constructed 2 private roads on our side of a tree line that marks the property line. My problems admittedly were a long time coming from urbanization, as my farm became the border between the town and open farmland. On the other side of the tree/property line, there are new housing developments, and across the main road is a shopping center. With my town being a popular pit stop, the roads and businesses can get quite busy. The consequences of this is that people have been parking on my private road despite private property and no parking signs. This severely impedes farm operations because it would get to the point farm equipment and trucks could not leave or enter either of my properties. In the past, I have called the police to deal with the trespassers, but their assistance is limited and slow. I have also tried installing gates but removed them after complaints from truck drivers and my farm hands. The cure to all of this came in the form of a contract I made with a local towing company. I installed their signs along with some security cameras. Whenever someone parks on my road, I can see it from my office and can call the company to have it towed at the owner's expense. This is what happened 4 days ago with a car that blocked a truck driver coming for a pickup. As per the contract, I called the company and within 45 minutes, it was gone. I didn't know this at the time, but the owner was a lady who lived in the new development. Yesterday I got a visit from her as she came by to demand I reimburse her, and she said that since I didn't notify her or the development, it was an illegal tow. When she said that, I wound up snickering as I literally had signs warning against parking on the road. She wound up calling me a jerk and threatening HOA involvement when I told her I won't reimburse her and that she can leave. So yeah, that's it for now. What do you guys think? Am I in the wrong? And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. What's the HOA gonna do? They have literally no power over your property. People don't want consequences. You have signs. It is not your fault she didn't read them. Not in the wrong. You had warnings that it was private property and no parking allowed. She didn't read the signs. She got towed. This is wholly her fault. Not in the wrong. Apparently, people don't take posted signs seriously. Now, maybe that lady will. Your property, your rules. Signs advise of consequences. Their tow is not your problem. Yeah, that's the end of today's stories. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe.